Well, welcome to Behind Enemy Lines, where we try and get some opinion and, of course, some information out of the enemy, who are, of course, the bookmakers. I'm very pleased to say I'm joined by plenty of opinions and familiar faces as well. I'll give you a rundown of who we're joined by here in no particular order. Danny Jackson, who the viewers will know very, very well from William Hill. Brett Williams from Unibet. James Price talking all things Ladbrokes and Coral. Ian St Pierre from Bet365. Craig Day from Betfred. And Tom Liston giving us the insight from Betfair and Paddy Power. Well, we are, of course, down to 48 runners now. We've seen every greyhound twice in this year's Greyhound Derby at close to £175,000 up for grabs. And I'll be firing all the questions at the panel and to hopefully provide them maybe one or two golden nuggets of information as well along the way. Let's get to it then. Well, we are down to just 48 greyhounds in this year's Greyhound Derby. We've already seen every greyhound twice in the first two rounds. I'd like to know a little bit about the business so far, race by race, not the outright. We'll get to that. How things been, perhaps in comparison to previous years, and maybe a result in the book that wasn't quite so business friendly, should we say. Expect at least one person to flag up Drumcrow Brent in the first round as a bad result. I'll come to you first, Craig Day from Betfred. How's business been so far this year?
Yeah, it's been decent. It's definitely up on last year with the COVID derby. I still think it's up on the year before as well. We've been seeing quite a lot of early price business. More people want to get the money in early rather than, waiting till the day even. So, yeah, no, it's been good.
Dan, how things at William Hill so far, Danny?
Yeah, business has been good, certainly better than last year, and turnover has been about the same for every meeting so far. We've not really had a single race where we've lost or won big, really. Thorn Falcon has been a bit of a pain in the side, and both wins have been very, very popular with the punters, and he was definitely the most expensive loser in the first round. And we were cautious in the second, but we still couldn't stop laying him, so Thorn Falcon definitely the one that's been a bit of a pain for us.
Okay, well, Ian St Pierre joins us from Bet365 from sunny Spain. So he wins the award for best weather at the moment, although we are challenging you, Ian. But how's business?
Yeah, it's been fine. It's been steady rather than spectacular, but yeah, it's been fine. He's of course up on last year. Plenty of early business done, because everyone got the bog and everything like that. So everyone's taken the prices whatsoever. You're right. Drumcrow Brent was a killer in the first round, but in the second round I went out to get Native Maestro, so that sort of evened it up a bit, and I'm probably going to do the same the third round with Native Maestro.
All right, well, we'll come to that. Views on Saturday's racing. Brett Williams from Unibet is also joining us. Brett, and how's business been so far?
Yeah, I mean, it's been steady away. We've not sort of seen any massive gambles on anything in the lead up to it. I mean, I think a lot of people are just concerned about the track at the moment. You've got to be sort of drawn on the inside or the outside. But people sort of very much keeping their powder dry. I think Dearjet Sydney getting beaten in the first heat, that's probably saved us quite a few quid as well. But now at the moment, it's sort of steady away. I think as the competition really gets into the grips of it, we'll see a lot more money around for a lot more others in the race.
Okay, interesting enough. And all things Ladbrokes and Corals from James Price. How's things been, James?
Yeah, business has been good. Saturday, a little bit quieter, but results are good, so no complaints here. A couple of standout bad results. In the first round, Drumcrow Brent, as I've already mentioned, was a terrible result. And in round two, Signet Ace was no good at all. On the flip side, Adele's Duke's our favourite dog at the moment, winning both rounds. Good result both rounds.
Okay, and Tom Liston as well from Betfair and Paddy Power. Tom, how's business been?
Yeah, very pleased thus far. Like the Saturday nights in particular have been strong, kind of across online and retail channels. There was maybe a slight concern that with clashing with the Euros might dilute the volumes, but that certainly hasn't happened so far. Good results and bad results. Kind of a left field when a bad result. Aussie captain beating the win session. Funnily enough, we were 8-1 early doors. A lot of retail cash for that one. The kind of SP to 130, but the warm money definitely was on that one. And I think similar to the rest of the guys, Native Maestro getting twisted last Saturday night, that was definitely the best result in the book by far.
Well, as I've already mentioned, there are 48 only remaining in this year's Greyhound Derby at Toto. The third round is live on Racing Post Greyhound TV on Saturday night. The field has halved in 2 different weeks now, so he's halved twice from 180 odd down to 96, and of course now 48. But how is the outright book looking? Who's the biggest loser in the book? Well, let's find out, because I'm joined, of course, by those behind enemy lines. And Craig Day, I'll throw that question to you first. How is the outright book shaping up at Betfred?
It's not terrible. Our 2 biggest losers are still in though. Knock the Bull Sid and New In Session. Everyone just wanted to be on them, sort of even before the derby started. I mean, they're still in, but I don't think they've been quite as impressive as you'd expect, especially Sid as well, and Sessions first round. So we're going to still keep going after them, and we're just going to get them both in the book and just pray that, you know, we can get a turn up really.
Okay, Danny Jackson from William Hill. Will you be praying, Danny? How's your book looking?
To be fair, the outright book is in pretty reasonable shape. We could still, you know, do with a few getting knocked out. And our biggest losers are 10-pin, who we thought early last year would struggle if he was drawn away from the fence. But, he's been in the red every round so far. And again, this weekend, it was a big prize for him to get trap 1 in every round, but we could be in trouble for that. And obviously, last year's winner even is always going to be a loser. Deerjet at Sydney would not be a good result. Yet 6 months ago, we were cheering him on down the back. So we definitely won't be cheering if he's in the same position this year.
Okay, and Ian St Pierre from Bet365. Ian, a lot of the big guns still left in. How's the book looking?
Yeah, it's not looking too bad. We had a bit of result getting Lights Out knocked out early on, because we laid that a fair few quid with each way money. Still got a couple of 6-figure losers in the book, Ballymac Fair One and Ballymac Ariel. I'm not too worried about Ariel, I don't think. Fair One's the one that's improving. Other than that, it's looking pretty decent.
Okay, I think it's decent at Unibet. Brett Williams?
Yeah, Signet Ace definitely, Dave, would be or Signet Ace would definitely be by far our biggest loser. Obviously, won both the rounds, locally trained. A lot of people trying to lump on to that dog. I touched on Deerjet Sydney earlier on. I mean, of course, winner of the Grand Derby last year. So you just tend to sort of get a lot of momentum get behind that dog as well. So we need to try and get that dog well and truly defeated. But yeah, so far, Signet Ace would be the one we need to get beat. Biggest loser in the book so far.
Okay, and James Price talking all things Ladbrokes and Corals. James, we've seen 1 or 2 of the big guns turned over, but on the whole, they've kept qualifying, haven't they? So how's your book looking?
Yeah, our book's pretty good as well. 4 of our 7 worst results have gone out in the first 2 rounds. Night Tornado was particularly well backed in the run up to the derby, so him going out round 1 was good for the book. We've got 3 bogeys left, really: Beach Avenue, Signet Ace, and Thorn Falcon.
Okay, I did expect Beach Avenue to be quite a popular one. Tom Liston talking things Betfair, Paddy Power. Is Beach Avenue a bogey in your book?
Yeah, Sultan of Doom. I think 13 of the 48 remaining are losers for us, headed by Knocknable Spade. Like, he's been pretty popular since prices first became available. I think the big mistake, sometimes we look at the win part, but it's when the places come through, like dogs like The Machine and Beach Avenue. Like, look, most people are going to be back in the late places each way. So whatever about winning, there are certain grounds that we definitely don't want to see making the final, or it'll be definitely a headache for us.
Okay, well, unfortunately, it sounds like on the whole, a lot of the outright books are in good shape at the moment, but I'm sure the punters might just get on top nearer to the final itself. Well, we have seen every ground in action twice now over the 500 metres at Toast. Some very, very impressive performances. 1 or 2 of the odds-on hot pots turned over, but still qualifying. Be interesting to get the thoughts of everyone about those near the head of the betting. Is there anything out there you're looking to get after, get beat? Perhaps you're going to go top price about ahead of the 3rd round on Saturday night. I'll throw that to you first. Craig Day from Betfred.
Yeah, we're still looking to take on Knock the Bull Sid and New In Session, and probably D Machine as well, who I don't think is running the place quite as well as everyone expected. Sid, for me, is not showing any of his early pace. He's not going up to the corner. He's been doing enough to qualify, and he's obviously still running times, but he's just lost that sort of ping break and the early pace that he had. And New In Session as well, just from the first 2 rounds, I couldn't have him sort of under 20-1 really for the comp. So we're going to go after at least them 3, yeah. And like I say, just pray that we get them beat. Yeah,
it'd be interesting to see how Knock the Bull Sid goes now with that seeding change. Danny Jackson from Hills, what are your thoughts? Anything you guys are looking to take on near the head of the betting?
Well, I think Tenpin would possibly be the one to take on, because obviously he's not performed as well as I expected him to do, because obviously he's been second in both rounds so far. Obviously he's sneaking through, but he's not quite getting the break. He's not showing us the speed that I think he has shown at other tracks. Obviously he's still getting through, but yeah, he could be one. And it's always nice to take something out of the outsiders. But Derek says, once the place part reduces from 6 to 4, it's always going to be that little bit more difficult.
Yeah, it will be. And Ian, have you sort of taken a view on anything near the head of the bet? And you mentioned a little bit earlier on in our chat that Native Maestro was one that you sort of had a feeling you could get beat in a previous round. Are you still against that one?
Well, yeah, especially in Storm 1. I don't think it's suited. Well, a lot of dogs are not suited to track round Toaster, but yeah, that one. And again, as I said earlier on about the biggest loser, Ballymac Aerial, I can't see how she clears in the third round, so it'll be another one to be taken on outright as well. Is one of our biggest losers, but I don't mind landing for a bit more.
Okay, Brett Williams also joins us from Unibet. And Brett, you mentioned a bit earlier on that the outright book's in fair shape, but are you guys taking a stance on anything near the top of the betting?
We'd like to, but as we've seen so far, everything that wins from the front. So we just got to try and take those on, those ones that come from behind. Obviously, you touched there so far on Beach Avenue and the other dog as well, Din Machine. And probably those ones are more prominent in the betting. Highlight Arca will probably be the most vulnerable. Again, does his winning from the front, but probably just did quite well to win last time. Was probably another 2 strides made just to being beaten. So that would be the shorter price horse. I mean, 16 to 1 to win the Derby outright. Highlight Arca will probably be the one we'll be keen to take on.
Okay, well, they're looking to take on Highlight Arca at Unibet. What about yourself, James Price, at Ladbrokes and Corals? What about some of the stronger running types? I mean, the track's quickening up, James. Are you looking to oppose those ones?
Yeah, I think, as been mentioned, the likes of Din Machine hasn't been running particularly great at the track. He's a stronger running type, but Bocco's Belly is one that we'll be looking to take on. He's he's so impressive in round 2, but 16 to 1 now is short enough, and I think he's probably the right sort of price. He's not always going to lead, so at 16 to 1, happy to take on Bocco's Belly.
Okay, potentially a brave move there, taking on the track record holder. What about things at Betfair, Paddy Power, Tom Liston? Who are you guys against at the moment?
Yeah, I suppose, look, New In Session, undoubtedly, he's a fantastic greyhound, but just hasn't really switched on over there yet. Whether he's feeling something or maybe the track isn't to his liking, but he's just not 100% to me. He's probably one that we'll be looking to take on. And very similar comments apply to Ballymac Aerial, top class bitch over this side of the water, but again, just hasn't been putting her best foot forward. And she thought, we kind of a team, we thought those two were opposable.
Okay, yeah, been some very interesting performances so far, but we are only 2 rounds through this year's Greyhound Derby. You'll, of course, be able to watch the third round live on Racing Post Greyhound TV on Saturday night. Well, this is Toaster 2.0, if you like. Modifications have been made to the track. We've got a new set of boxes in. The straights seem to be slightly longer. The bends perhaps a little bit tighter. We're not looking to race 8 dogs around the Derby venue now, but it'd be interesting to get the thoughts of the layers of the new layout at Toaster, whether they feel it's a little bit fairer for punters, a little bit more tricky. We've certainly seen a lot of the dogs win their heats off the front. I'll throw that one to you, Craig Day, then from Betfred. What do you make of the new Toaster, should we call it?
It's definitely improved since they've got the new traps in. The thing for me is the back straight isn't overly massive, which sort of from being there the last few weeks, you can see that in person. It's not a real big galloping back straight, but I do think it's a fair enough track. I think you can win from anywhere on it. You can come from behind us. Unlock, and Priceless Jet have proved as well. And, dogs have won from the red, no problem, and come away from the red. So I think it's fair enough. I don't think there's any major issues with it. And I think for punters and layers alike, I think it's fair.
Level playing field, Danny, for you guys at William Hill?
Yeah, I think the new traps have certainly been better than the old ones. There seems to be a little bit more consistency with the braking, and it just seems a bit fairer all round. There appear to be a few greyhounds that are not enjoying it as much as others, but that can be said for pretty much every racing track. So, some of the greyhounds that could have said to have slightly underperformed could easily improve significantly with the the couple of runs that we've seen from them so far. Getting a feel for the track and the running style and etc. So, yeah, I think it's definitely fairer than it was.
Okay, and Ian St Pierre joins us from Bet365. Ian, be honest now with me. Would you have preferred the old boxes? I mean, they were almost impossible to predict what was going to happen.
Nah, not really. You've got to have a level go, haven't you? You've got to give everyone a chance. I think they have improved him with the new boxes, but I still think Trap One's a bit of a bogey box around there. Not many dogs are actually winning from Trap One. They're qualifying, but they're not going ping from Trap One. So I think that's a bit of a bogey box. Other than that, no, I think it's fine.
Okay, right, fine for Ian. Brett Williams from Unibet joins us. Do you guys feel it's a fine circuit and a level playing field?
Yeah, I mean, listen, Dave, nobody likes change, they don't like it when there's anything that changes that they're used to. But no, I think it's been a pretty fair track. As I said, I think at the end of the day, if you've got the best dog in the best race, that's invariably the best result you're going to get. So no, I think we haven't certainly seen any sort of idiosyncrasies at all from the track, and it's been a pretty fair course, to be honest.
Yeah, James Price from Ladbrokes and Corals. What are your thoughts, James? I mean, we've seen quite a few dogs win off the front, but that's not really anything alien in a derby. You get derby class dogs off the front; they're hard to pick up anyway.
Yeah, that's true. I think I originally thought once the new tracks had come, they'd really transform the track, but it does seem that you want to be an early paced railer from the middle boxes almost. So track 3 is ideal. I think you don't, as Ian mentioned, I don't think you particularly want to be in trap 1, even as an early paced railer, and that would be my one area of concern.
Any concerns at Betfair, Paddy Power, Tom Liston?
Yeah, look, I think full credit to the Towcester management. They were fairly receptive to last year's feedback and kind of implied a number of changes. And look, on the whole, they look to me to have worked, but I'd agree with sentiments that echoed there as well, that, okay, dogs don't seem to be really bombing away out of trap 1, and you definitely want to be off the front, going down the back. It seems to be hard for dogs to pass out dogs, and to coming up the home straight, you probably don't have much time to organise themselves into a challenge. So you definitely want to be off the front, and maybe, as the boy said, maybe 2, 3, 4.
Okay, yeah, interesting. I wouldn't mind being off the front at any track, really, to be honest. But yeah, I certainly think lots of improvement been made at Towcester, in particularly at the traps as well. And general consensus is agreement of that as well. Well, of course, you'll be able to watch all of this year's Greyhound Derby, every race of every round, live on the channel, Sky Channel 437, Freesat 250, and streamed at sportystuff.tv. Saturday night is a special night. It's the first night we see all greyhounds run under the same conditions, on the same track, on the same night. We've got just 48 remain, and I want to get the opinions of those behind the enemy lines, the layers themselves. What's going to be the best bet on Saturday night? Eight heats to tackle from Towcester. You have the honour, Craig Day from Betfred.
It's tough. I mean, there's some real nice draws there. I'd be with probably Dearjet Sydney. I mean, he's probably going to be short enough, but he's got his plum draw there. He's got the 2 moving off ever so slightly in Bocco's Belly. I think's probably more of a middle than a rails, and yeah, I just think he's plotted in that sort of heat, and he's been so impressive so far as well.
Craig sticking with the defending champion. Danny Jackson joins us from William Hill. What's your best bet on Saturday night, Danny?
Well, my best bet is certainly going to be Unlock, because I just think she's been absolutely sensational so far. And to come from off the pace when most of them are making most of the running, I think she's superb. So I think she's going to go really well. And obviously when the front 2 in the betting both draw trap 1, they're going to be popular as well, with Dearjet Sydney and Native Maestro. Okay, so we've had one off the front in Dearjet Sydney, one that's going to be coming from off the speed. Unlock. Ian St Pierre from Bet365 joins us. Ian, I know you're a very keen form student. Can you dig one out a bit of a price for us on Saturday night?
Not so much of a bit of a price, but I'm with Danny. I want to be with Unlock. I mean, she's obviously perfectly drawn in 6. She keeps herself out of trouble. I think there could be a little bit of trouble on the inside. 1 and 2 coming together, maybe 5 going left. She keeps herself out of trouble around the outside, and come on, she's done absolutely nothing wrong so far in this derby. And she keeps qualifying.
Yeah, certainly a tremendous story, having come back from having that litter of pups. Brett Williams from Unibet. What's the best bet on Saturday night, Brett?
Well, as you touched on, it's a cracking card, isn't it? We're really getting to the grips of the derby now. There's no doubt about it. The 8th heat is definitely the best one. Dearjet Sydney, Harlow Arc were taken, of course, the track record holder in Bocco's Belly. I mean, you'd sort of look at the price of what they are for the derby, and I suppose that's the best way you can work out what you fancy more at the weekend. But no, I think Bocco's Belly, for me, would have a massive chance. Obviously got some rock solid form, and another Irish race that's got some real decent English raider, Bocco's Belly. No, Bocco's Belly for me, and will take all of the beating.
Okay, James Price from Ladbrokes Corals joins us as well. Anything different? Anything left field, James, from you?
Yeah, I've got a couple. I think Jaguar Macy will be hard to beat on Saturday going into trap 3. I think she'll, if she comes out of the boxes from trap 3 well, I think she'll take a lot of catching. And one at a bigger price, Forest Gold. He's been drawn in trap 1, not a railer. Trap 3 will suit a lot better. And I don't think there's too much early pace in the race. I think if a good break from trap 3, Forest Gold could just lead, and he's a big price.
Okay, and the final best bet of the third round is with Tom Liston from Betfair Paddy Power. Tom, what do you got for us?
Yeah, we'll plump for Roxham Chic. Look, he looks to have a good makeup in Heat 5. We'll definitely be looking to keep him on side. I'd say he stretched a pretty good field last week, and I think he can continue in a winning vein. Like, he just has 15 races around. Definitely a bit of scope for improvement. He's in good hands, and we thought he was one that could even go pretty deep into the competition.
Okay, excellent. Well, thank you for that, guys. Always promises to be a fantastic night, the third round. As I mentioned a little bit earlier on, it's the first night we see the whole field on the same night. We whittle down to 48. Only 24 will progress on Saturday night, but it promises to be a cracker. Well, we've heard from everyone on their best bets for Saturday night in the third round heats, but what about the dog to take on? Which dog might the layers be going top price about? One trying to get in the book and get beat. Well, the third round heats are on Saturday night at Toaster, live on Racing Post Greyhound TV. Who are you looking to take on, Craig Day from Betfred?
There's quite a few, to be honest. I'd want to be against Kalara Lion and New In Session. I'd sooner be with the 3 there. I'm bang against Roxham Shake. I thought the 6 was, well, probably too big of a price for Falcon at sort of like 11 to 4-ish. The 6 to 5 Shake's far too short, in my opinion. The 2 and the 3 have both got pace. And I'd want to be taking on Bocco's Belly as well at around 2 to 1 when he's got Dayjet Sydney inside him. So, yeah, they'd be the ones I'd sort of be looking to sort of top out to top price, yeah.
Lovely, different opinions. We like that. Danny Jackson also joins us from William Hill. Danny, who are we looking to take on Saturday night?
Well, we're being a bit cagey, I think, here at William Hill, because not going to say too much and give the game away. But like in the first and second rounds, we will be going out to lay a few. So you've just got to be a bit of a shrewdie to see who we're going to be going top price about. But Derek Hope and Neil Godleman just playing the cards close to the chest.
Okay, we'll do shop around, of course. We'll encourage you to bet with all of our betting partners on Racing Post Greyhound TV. Ian St. Pierre, can we expect to see Bet365 going top price about on Saturday night?
As I mentioned earlier, definitely Ballymac area. I can't see how she can clear the 2 dogs inside her. And she's not, I don't think she's really taken to the track that well either. So she'll be one to take on. And again, as some of the others, Bocco's Belly, with Hill White Arkle going up outside him and Dayjet Sydney on the inside, he's not always a smash breaker. And if he doesn't time it right, then he can find himself in the meat in the sandwich going to the bend.
Yeah, that's very much going to be on the break, that race there. I'm looking forward to that one. It's a cracker. Brett Williams also joins us from Unibet. Brett, have you got any thoughts on Saturday night's action? Maybe a likely favourite you guys are going to be looking to take on?
Yeah, probably Ballymac Ariel, to be honest. You sort of touched on her briefly. You know, she's got some rock solid form. It does look a pretty decent little renewal. And also in Heat 1, New In Session. Won the first heat, but got beaten fair and square, I think, last time by Aussie captain. 16 to 1 to win the Grand Derby itself. I just think in a race where you've got Signer Ace, to take on from 3, I think New In Session with him would be quite keen to take on.
Okay, New In Session, one to take on. Fancy New In Session, perhaps pop yourself along to Unibet to get top price there. What about Ladbrokes and Coral, James Price? Who are you looking to take on in the third round on Saturday night?
Yeah, I'm also looking to take on New In Session. I thought it was a little bit of a penalty kick in round 2. He didn't convert it. Signer Ace in trap 3 is almost certainly going to bang out again from trap 3. And you've got Warzone Tom and Frankie's Jet, who's probably a little bit underrated in trap 5. Any of them lead, I think New In Session will struggle to come from behind them. Also keen to take on Beach Avenue. Just don't think his style of running really suits Toaster. He's hard to knock out at the frame, but from a win point of view, I think he'll struggle to win on Saturday night.
Okay, interesting. And final word with Tom Liston from Betfair Paddy Power. Tom?
Yeah, just with a tendency for dogs not to really get away running from trap one. Deerjet Sydney is probably one we'll be looking to oppose. Bocco's Belly and Highlight Arkle, both probably big players against it. Arguably Unlock has been the story of the Derby this year. Fantastic story. I'd love to see her go on and win it, but look, with her running style, etc., as a bookmaker, you probably have to be opposing her most nights, don't you? And there are just two that we'll be opposing.
Okay, well, remember you watch all 8 third round heats of this year's Greyhound Derby live on Racing Post Greyhound TV on Saturday night. Well, this year's Greyhound Derby is, of course, now in full swing, and it's always an opportunity for the bookmakers to get a little bit creative, offer up plenty of specials, etc. Let's hear from those behind the enemy lines, what they're offering up this year. Do they have any liabilities currently on those specials, and more importantly, any strong opinions? Well, I'll throw to you first, Craig Day from Betfred.
Yeah, we've got Ballymac Ariel for quite a few quid on the top bitch market. So, I mean, we're not too worried at the minute, but, we won't want to see it go much further because we're running out of bitches to oppose her with. We're going to do some special doubles as well, like especially now we got down to the last 48. So we're going to try and take on a few hot pots and put them in doubles and offer them up there at big value to customers, for sort of like £100 max. A little bit more on the distances and, just try and do as much as we can really to promote it and, get as much business in as possible.
Good stuff. And will the guys at William Hill be getting creative, Danny Jackson?
Yeah, we usually have plenty of specials markets daily, to be fair, because myself and my colleague Sam Dorris, who's absolutely wiping the floor with me, by the way, with the winners over the Derby weeks. But Derek and Neil, they usually put some specials together for our naps and next best pretty much daily. So you can always find a good distance bet or two with us. So they're under the specials market, of course, online.
Good stuff. Ian St Pierre joins us from Bet365. Ian, how have the specials gone so far? What can we expect for Saturday night?
Yeah, it'll be going all right. Obviously, we've laid Ballymac Ariel for top bitch and top Irish train dog as well. But as I said, I'm not too worried about that. I think Unlock will probably win the top bitch now. Again, she's going to be very hard to keep out of the frame. And the top Irish, I've backed Unlock for the top Irish at 33 and 25 to 1. So, yeah, we'll think of a few more things to do. We've still got the best of the trainers runners, which I've not updated yet. I'll do that this afternoon, like Pat Buckley's, Graham Holland and Patrick Jensen runners that are still in there. So there'll be plenty there.
You always prove popular with the punters, those markets. Best of the kennel. What about a Unibet, Brett Williams?
Well, of course, as you know, we'll be doing lots of specials as we approach the race day. But I've just been told by our trainers, we will be top price every single runner in the Greyhound Derby final. So that is for sure. But there'll be lots of other offers available as well. Super Boost as well, unibet.co.uk for your match bets, distance bets, and so forth. So, yeah, that's a place to head.
Yeah, Brett, first one to drop the email address in, as well as wearing the apparel as well. So 10 out of 10 and the PR grading there. James Price from Ladbrokes. I know you're always getting creative. James, what do you got from us?
Yeah, as well as the usual top bitch, top Irish, top Ladbrokes, top Coral markets. We've obviously got the fastest sectional, both outright and of the third round. A few third round movers so far. Mingler's Popeye, 25 from 66, and Adele's Duke, 25 from 50. And of the bogeys that are still in the outright fastest sectional, will be booing Nottinghamble Sid, who's obviously now changed to a middle seed. So backers will be hoping he comes out from trap 4 quicker than he has from the inside traps. And Coney Wonderland's the other bogey that's still left in the competition.
Okay, very interesting. And all things Betfair Paddy Power coming from Tom Liston, please.
Yeah, we have a number of special markets available. The top Mitch market, which is headed by Unlock at the moment at 7-4. For the patriotic punters, we have an all-Irish final, 16-1. We'll have a selection of pretty good value doubles and trebles, and even we'll do a super enhanced on Saturday morning as well. So that'll be available for PP online and PP retail customers. So I'd encourage all customers to have a look Saturday morning.
Fantastic. Do shop around, of course. The bookmakers do try and get creative during the Greyhound Derby. So sniff out that value and head over to wherever you want to go to for those big prices for Saturday night. Well, Saturday, the 10th of July at Tozer is £175,000 up for grabs in this year's Greyhound Derby. You'll be able to watch every race of every round, of course, live on Racing Post Greyhound TV. But the biggest question of them all, who is going to win the Greyhound Derby this year? Everyone watching this has got an opinion, but what about those compiling the prices and laying the bets? Who do they fancy to win this year's Greyhound Derby? Well, Craig Day joins us from Betfred. Craig, I'll give you the honour for the biggest question of them all.
I think it's really tough. I mean, I'd struggle for picking any one dog. I mean, at this stage now, you'd have something sort of 5-1 or shorter. You could make a case for it being 10 the field. If I was going to be with anything, I back Ballymac Wild, but I think he's still going to be one of them greyhounds that can do it both ways. And I've also got a ticket on Ballymac Kingdom left in at a big price as well. So either of them two will do. But yeah, I think it's wide open. I think it's very, very tough to call a winner.
Yeah, nearly a slap on the wrist for you there, Craig. There'd be no sitting on the fence, particularly for this question, but you've put up Ballymac Wild. Danny Jackson joins us from William Hill, and RPG TV viewers will know that you're not shy of putting up a winner or two, Danny. So who's going to win the big one?
Unlock. That's who I've backed actually after the first round, because I was just so impressed by her run, coming from off the pace, and she was just second behind Native Maestro. But, it does depend on the draw, of course, in the quarters and the semis. But with Unlock's draw, she's a wide seed. I'm hoping she's always in the stripes. And I just think she's got a cracking chance. I know bitches don't do particularly well when it comes to the final. They can come second, third or whatever, but they don't usually win it. However, I'm hoping that she bucks the trend this year.
Okay, well, I'm sure she'll be a popular each-way play with plenty of punters out there. Ian St Pierre joins us from Bet365. Ian, who is going to win the 2021 Greyhound Derby?
We're looking at one of the wide runners, and I think it will be Fawn Falcon. Not done a thing wrong so far during her runs at Towstar. His runs at Towstar. Got enough early pace to keep himself up there. Keeps a little bit out of the trouble. Keep qualifying. Keep drawing trap 6. Game over.
Well, yeah, certainly still got a strong team in the champion trainer Patrick Janssens. Brett Williams from Unibet joins us, and who's going to win it, Brett?
Just a nice, easy question like that. Just throw it in, why don't you? I mean, it's just sort of saying earlier on, usually as you get to this stage of the competition, you've got a pretty short price favourite. But the fact we're 11-1 joint favourites too, I mean, just shows how open it is. I know Ireland has obviously been very dominant, especially over the recent couple of years. But we're going to go for an all-English winner here, Dave. Signer Ace. Kevin Hurt, of course, he's won this race before with a great Doritos Wildcat. Very impressive last time. Done nothing wrong in both the heats so far. Currently 20-1 to win the Greyhound Derby. That price could be much, much shorter if it wins at the weekend.
Good stuff. And James Price joins us, talking all things Ladbrokes Corals. We had a number of different selections so far. James, you're going to throw out anything different as well?
Yeah, it will be. I still think it's a really open derby. I think it's, as bookmakers, I think we could still get a good result. I think it's very open. But the two at the top end of the market, who are the most bomb-proof for me, are Native Maestro and Dear Jet Sydney. They're the two that I'd want to have on my side.
Okay, good stuff. And Tom Liston from Betfair Paddy Power joins us, and the final word with you, Tom, on the biggest question of them all.
Yeah, look, it's probably not that original, but it's very difficult to pick holes in Native Maestro. You have Graham Holland on your side. Like, this is a top-class greyhound. Very, very sharp price to qualify the next night. There'll be 24 runners left, and you'd be sitting at a double-figure price. I think anywhere around 10-1 is a smashing wager. Native Maestro, I can see him being 4-1 on Sunday morning, to be honest.
Okay, great stuff. Well, thank you to everyone for their time and expertise. We've been behind enemy lines, a close look at this year's Greyhound Derby ahead of the all-important third round heats on Saturday night. Remember, you'll be able to watch every race of every round of this year's Greyhound Derby live on Racing Post Greyhound TV, Sky Channel 437, Freesat 250 and at sportystuff.tv.